7 days remaining. The Republicans looking very good in the U.S. Senate. I'm still predicting they pick up 5 seats. I know that's a very bold prediction. In the House, however, another story. Math, history, trends, and everything else not going the Republicans' way. It's a long road. They got to thread the needle to hang on. Don't know if it's going to happen, but we're following it very, very closely. There's 3 races in Virginia that are up for grabs. Well, they say they're up for grabs. There's really one of them that's close, and that is the 7th district. That's a toss-up. Everybody's got it tied. Taylor's going to win the 2nd. Denver's going to win the 5th. And I'm predicting Barbara Comstock against all odds. The 7-1 underdog holds on to her seat in Northern Virginia. But that's just me. Hey, this segment brought to you by your good friends at Job Creators Network. I love Job Creators Network because, they're for creating jobs, for small business people like me. And, folks, here's the deal. Off-year elections are about one thing, turnout. The other side, they're getting them all. If they can find a Democratic voter, they're dragging them to the polls. They're working their tails off, and they're very motivated. They're showing up. This upcoming midterm election is going to be the most important in history. It is a referendum on Trumponomics, our economy, and President Trump's America First economic agenda. There's a lot of things on the ballot besides a Republican candidate. A lot of things, let's see. That tax savings you got, that's on the ballot. The American economy, the growth we're getting, the jobs we're getting, that's on the ballot. America's great economic comeback, that's on the ballot too. Your jobs and your kids' jobs, guess what else? That's on the ballot. And your basement. Remember, your kids lived in the basement because they couldn't get a job. Then they moved out, they got a job. Now you got your basement back? Nope, that's on the ballot too. Your promotion, your raises, your wages, your earnings, your investments, your retirement, all on the ballot. And if you're a small business owner like me, these tax cuts, which are huge, which has helped us expand, buy a new radio station, buy new equipment, hire people, that's all on the ballot too. Because if the other side gets in, it's all going away. And here's the biggest issue on the ballot. Who's in charge of your future? Politicians and corruptocrats in the swamp where I am, or you? If you want to preserve the victories of the past 2 years, I'm urging you, get involved this November. Go to bigchoiceelection.com. That's all you have to do. I don't really know what to do. bigchoiceelection.com. I'm kind of shy. I don't like to make phone calls. You don't have to make phone calls. If you want to make calls, that's great. You can send emails, text. You can knock on doors. You can do a literature drop. You can take a neighbor to the polls. Oh, I don't have a car. It doesn't matter. You can, if you have a computer, you can work right from home, or you can bring the coffee and donuts. You can do whatever you want, but you got to get involved. I don't want to join the Republican Party and go to meetings. Look, nobody gets that more than me. I get that one. BigChoiceElection.com. What's the URL? BigChoiceElection.com. That's all you have to do. Key it in, hit the button, and get involved. BigChoiceElection.com, because the only way you lose in 2018 is if you don't do anything, if you don't show up, if you don't work, if you don't turn out. BigChoiceElection.com. Do your part. Don't get outworked in November and then lament when Pelosi takes over by 3 votes. Right? Do what you got to do. Go to BigChoiceElection.com. This message paid for and authorized by the Job Creators Network. Speaking of the Job Creators Network, joining us now, Alfredo Ortiz. He is the president and CEO of the Job Creators Network. Alfredo, how goes it?
John, everything is going great. We are busy out there trying to do the last push. And I have to tell you what you said right at the end. We couldn't agree more. Everyone can do some can do more, and a few can do much. And we're just asking everybody to do something, because I think this is going to be a really, really close election. I actually am still making my bold prediction that the Republicans are going to hold the House, but maybe by 2 or 3 seats. And I think it's going to come down to, in some cases, hundreds of votes.
Hundreds of votes. I agree with you 100%. This election is so close. I was saying earlier, Alfredo Ortiz, that small business owners have got to get out there. If you own a small business, or you have a family member that owns a small business, I mean, you're nuts if you don't work and get out there and vote, because that big tax cut you got, that opportunity to grow your company and do better for your family, that's all going away. Once Pelosi takes the gavel, She's cutting it all back. It's all going away. And here's the deal. The Abigail Spanbergers of the world and all these people can get up on my radio show and say, oh, I'm not going to vote for Pelosi. That's a ruse. Who are they going to vote for? Nancy Pelosi has said, if we are in control by one vote, I'm speaker. I have the votes in the caucus. Say what you want on the campaign trail. That's the bottom line, but you have to get involved because, my goodness, there's so much at stake. And right now, 30 seats are tied, and Republicans have to win 19 of those. They have to win 19 of the 30 toss-ups. Alfredo, can they do it?
I think they can. I mean, I think it's, like I said, in the House, my bold prediction, again, is 2 or 3 seats. Republicans hold the majority, and I think they'll pick up 2 or 3 seats in the Senate. So, but it's going to be that close. And but you're right, in terms of what's on the ballot, right? We know what's on the ballot. All the great economic news that we have now seen, the prosperity we have seen in the past 2 years, John, is all at stake. 7.2 million unfilled jobs right now, and only 6.1 million folks, basically, or 6.2 million folks to fill it. I mean, we have about 1 million extra jobs, and people are there, hardworking Americans to fill them. I mean, this is great. The economic, growth, it was 4.2% last quarter, 3.5% GDP growth, economic growth this quarter. And frankly, I think that's going to be upgraded probably to about 3.7 is my guess. The strength is there. The economy's red hot. But when you see what they have promised, I mean, they've promised higher taxes, frankly, a weaker economy because they're going to bring back red tape and regulations. The Democrats seem to love that. And the worst of all is Bernie care, or maybe in the spirit of Halloween right now, Bernie scare is probably the best way to say that, because what it plans to do, this Medicare for all, is really Medicare for none, and it's going to hurt seniors the most.
Well, there's a lot at stake here, Alfredo, and there's a lot of close races, and I think you're right. I mean, I'm planning to be up till 5 or 6 a.m. and then go right on the air, kind of the way I did in 2016, because we're going to be counting. There's so many races, and I don't even think it's going to be decided on election night. There's a chance that there are 5 or 6 races that are going to determine the outcome, that are hanging in the balance, that are going to recounts, right, or they're tied, or the votes are still coming in, or absentee ballot. This is going to be razor thin. But if you're a small business owner, I mean, I got to tell you, I urge you, if you own a business, it doesn't matter how big it could be. Putting labels on T-shirts doesn't matter. If you own a business, this is the most critical election you're going to have, because, Alfredo, we've seen it in our own business. I mean, I have a very small company, but this tax cut has allowed us to hire people, buy another radio station, invest in equipment. I mean, under Obama, I couldn't do that. I just couldn't. We were stuck in the mud.
And that's right, John. I mean, we just wrapped up our tax cuts work for this year, 48 stops in about 29 states. We traveled almost 40,000 miles. And I'll have to tell you, this is actually our 3rd year of doing a bus tour. The first year was Bring Small Businesses Back. Last year was really pushing for the tax cuts for small business under our Tax Cuts Now campaign. And then this year, our tax cuts work. When you combine all that, we probably traveled almost 80,000 miles across the country, talking to hundreds and thousands of small business owners about, what was challenging them before under the Obama administration. And now under the Trump administration, all that was addressed, the higher red tape, the high tax environment, the unfriendly environment in terms of lending, all that was addressed under the Trump administration. And that's why I think we're seeing small business optimism at sky-high levels. But we've got this challenge that they have point blank. The Democrats have point blank said they will repeal these tax cuts. They think that that it was too much to give to businesses, and I don't think I think they fail to understand that small business in this country truly is the backbone of this country, and we have to give our small business owners the breaks that we have. And frankly, I'm going to keep advocating for more, because it is the backbone of our country. We have 60 million hardworking Americans by small businesses. That means that this is a community. Overall, when you take the employers, right, these small business owners, the entrepreneurs, and their employees, that's 90 million people, John, who are benefiting from the growth of the economy. And, from the growth and the optimism of small business and the reinvestment that they got, right? The extra cash that they got, they're reinvesting it back in the business. Anybody, you're a small business owner, I was a small business owner. Anybody who owns a small business knows what do? You reinvest back in your business because you want it to grow.
Well, that's it. It's about growth. Alfredo, we're out of time. I want to thank Alfredo Ortiz for being with us. He's the president and CEO of Job Creators Network. Get involved. Go to bigchoiceelection.com, bigchoiceelection.com.